The DJI Mini 3 Pro, I've been testing this drone now for the last 6 months in so many different locations to test all of the features to see just how good this tiny 249-gram drone actually is. And do I still think it is fantastic? Well, yes and no. My opinion has changed somewhat. And today I'm going to talk about my long-term review on this drone and then overall give you an opinion whether you should still go out and buy this drone or not. And this happens with any new tech product. That initial purchase, everything is great. You absolutely love it. And then with time, after you've been flying it for quite a bit of time, you then notice some limitations. You might get buyer's remorse and completely regret buying it. Or you might think, I wish that could be better. And in a nutshell, that's what the Mini 3 Pro is all about. But before we get into any limitations or what I wish could be different on this, let's talk about what's good about it. The Mini 3 Pro has a ton of advantages, but one of them is the size and weight of it. This is so small and lightweight. It's 249-gram drone, so it means that you can fly this in so many more places without the need for any extra licenses and have that restriction-free flying. Now, it's also about the same weight as my phone, so it's not a problem to take with me, which means you're going to take it more places and more often. Even the batteries are so lightweight and small as well. And this that comes with a fly mode. This charges 3 batteries at once. Even that is so lightweight. I mean, it literally weighs nothing. But the size and weight of it is going to be a dream for anyone who likes traveling with your drones. It's just effortless. Take this more places and get the shots. Size and weight of it is a massive advantage. So when this Mini 2 came out, I'm just blowing the dust off it, but when the Mini 2 came out, this had no sensors. Now, this meant that people were crashing this drone. It also had no features like active track, so it was great, but it was also limited as well. The Mini 3 Pro has sensors on the back, on the bottom, and at front of it. Flying near a tree or a wall or something, it will stop and it will either hover in place or avoid it and carry on flying. A big advantage. This means that it gives you that confidence to fly in these places as a beginner that you wouldn't have with the Mini 2. And this also has focus track as well. So it has spotlight, which means you can drag a box around, say, a building, and the drone will then just rotate around the building, doing all of the gimbal motions for you and get these awesome looking video shots. It's fantastic for real estate. But it also has active track, which works really well. You can drag a box around you, or if you're on a bike, you might be in a car or boat, and this will follow you, and it will also avoid objects as well with those sensors on the front. And the active track works really well, and I've got some really good shots over the last 6 months using that. So this Mini 3 Pro is really feature packed, and it also has hyperlapse as well. So this is like a series of photos. It's like a motion time lapse sped up, so it looks awesome, especially at night time. I love doing hyperlapses, and they make it really easy to do on here, and this is what you can do. Now this, in a nutshell, is an Air 2S, but smaller and lightweight. It has pretty much exactly the same features as that DJI Air 2S. Yes, the camera is not as good, but pretty much everything else it also has the same. So for features wise, this is an absolute monster. Now the camera quality is also really important. It's a small sensor, it's bigger than the Mini 2, but it's an f1.7 aperture. It means it lets a lot of light in. So your low light shots, nighttime shots are going to be really good, photos and videos. It shoots in 4K 60, so we've got good slow-mo capabilities. The overall photos and videos that come out of this are really impressive. So if you're a beginner and you don't know much about photography, you can just put this in auto and get really good results. But it gets better. This is also shoots in horizontal, and it's the only DJI drone currently available at the moment, the last couple of years, that can rotate to vertical mode as well. So this is seen to be really popular for TikToks and for Reels. Posting vertical content is really popular now, and this is something you can do because it just rotates that camera around so you can get vertical and horizontal. All the features like hyperlapse, master shots, they also work in vertical. So a massive advantage even over like the Mavic 3 drones that this has. And it's also got 10-bit color, which means that this shoots in normal and D-Cinelike color profile. And if you want to shoot in the best, D-Cinelike is the way to go. It's what I shoot in all the time. Now, when you first put D-Cinelike on, it's going to be this really flat looking image, but it's going to enable you to color grade it and get the best possible quality without destroying that image as well. But the trouble is that color grading for a beginner is not very easy and it's quite confusing. So that's a brilliant segue into the sponsor of today's video, me. So to get around this, I've made my own photo presets and video LUTs. So the video LUTs, what they do is completely, instantly transform that look of your video without you having to do any color grading. These add saturation, they change the contrast, they change the mood and overall feel of that video. I use these all the time. They work on all popular editors like DaVinci Resolve, Final Cut Pro, LumaFusion, and they are all drag and drop. And the photo presets are all custom made for the Mini 3 Pro. So you take the picture, you then go into Lightroom, select one of the presets, and then you can change that overall look and mood of that photo and get really good results. And what's great is that a Black Friday sale has just started, so these are all heavily discounted for the next few days. So go and check these out if you want any video LUTs or presets for any of your DJI drones, the Mavic 3, the Mini 3, the Mini 2, the Air 2S. I've got them all on my website, darrenmproductions.com. I really do appreciate the support, it helps out the channel a lot. And I've spent a lot of time working on these to make sure that you have the best possible quality. I didn't rush these out. It took months spending tweaking them to get the best one. So I really do think they are the best DJI LUTs and presets you can get. Back to the video. Battery life is very important on drones. What's it like on the Mini 3 Pro? Well, it's okay. They say you're going to get 34 minutes. Realistically, you're going to get high 20s. If you're using features like master shots or hyperlapse, active track, it's going to go down because it's more processor intensive. So it's going to be more 20-minute mark. And the same in windy conditions, it's going to go down to probably the same 20-ish minutes. That's okay, considering the amount of features we've got packed into this, and because it's so small, 20 minutes plus is decent. You can get the plus battery as well. You can't get that in Europe, so I can't comment on that, I've not got it. But I would suggest getting more batteries for sure. You don't want to turn up with just one battery. It's just not going to be a good experience. You're going to be really rushing. So get the fly mode kit is my number one thing. If you can get this is going to be a great present for you or for somebody else. It's going to give you 2 extra batteries, and they just pop into this, and then it charges the batteries in sequence. You can also power this via a car charger. It's USB-C, and this can actually power a phone as well and charge your phone if you need to, but I never bother with that. I just use this as an on-the-go charger, and it works really well. And because these batteries are so small and lightweight, just taking these with you is dead easy, and it doesn't kind of weigh you down. So battery life-wise, it's pretty good. And the Mini 3 Pro comes in 3 different combos: the drone only, the N1 controller combo, and then the RC combo. And I think this is like the perfect combo, and this is what kind of sells it the most. This is just so much more convenient. It gets that location, turn it on, and then away you go. And it's also really small and lightweight. So this, as an overall controller, I think is great. It has disadvantages. I mentioned that in the comparison with the RC Pro, but the screen's good enough. It's 700 nits of brightness, and it just feels really good in the hand, and it's, again, it's just a lightweight combo. So if you can, this will be the combo to get. But overall, in the last 6 months of flying this, generally, I mean, yes, it's really good. The photos and videos of it are really good. I also like to go to some locations where I don't want to have loads of people noticing I'm flying that drone. So I want that discreetness of flying it. And you can get that with this Mini 3 Pro, whereas I wouldn't be able to with the Mavic. So this is really small, lightweight and quiet. So that's a good advantage to it. I love that it's got all the features that the Air 2S has, like it's got active track, it's got spotlights, hyperlapse. It's a great drone for majority of people, but it also does have some niggles with it as well, or some things which just can't be avoided. Let's talk about them. Now this drone, as we touched on, is small and tiny, and some people say that's not a good combination. And they might be right. You see, this has really small motors, really small propellers. So when it's against strong winds, it's not going to do great. And this is its limitation, and it can't really be changed. It's a small 249 gram drone. And because of that, we can't expect it to be fantastic in the wind. So I have found if it's in a location where it's really windy, it might be high up altitude, might be on a mountain, you might like hiking. In those situations, this drone is not going to be fantastic, and it has been limited. So there's been some situations where I've had to land the drone straight away, or I've not even bothered to take off. And if you like go into locations like that, this is going to be a drawback to this drone. So it depends about where you go off and fly. Are you just going to be flying occasionally? You might be flying in your local park or where you live, your local city. In which case, this drone is probably going to be absolutely fantastic. It'll tick every single box, and I highly recommend it. But if you like going on vacations or holidays to windy environments or locations like the Dolomites, really high up, but you want that drone to get really good footage, photos and videos, and perform, this isn't going to be the one for you. In that situation, the Mavic series, like the new Mavic 3 Classic, not much more than this combination, and you're going to get a performance in the wind and in the air like an absolute tank. It can just handle any environment. I've had that flying in literally like 45-mile-an-hour winds, and it just hovered in place laughing like, is this all you got? It is awesome. So this is the limitation to this. That can't be changed, probably won't be changed, but you need to think about that. And it's certainly something that I've noticed over the last 6 months where it's been kind of annoying at times, where I've not been able to fly in the locations I wanted to. So this, being small, is an advantage and a disadvantage. So it's going to be about where you fly yourself, and think about that before making the decision about buying this drone or the Mavic 3 Classic. That's the biggest limitation. It also has some issues relating to the performance side of it. Again, this is the same. It's because of the motors, because of the small propellers. Getting this drone back to you in windy situations is also concerning at times. I've nearly lost this a few times because it's not been powerful enough to get through strong winds. So in that situation, I've had to lower the drone's altitude, put it into sports mode just to get it back to me. So those are the limitations. It's all relating to the power and the actual size of it withstanding windy conditions. In the UK here, it's literally windy all the time. So for me, and having this Mini 3 Pro, it is a concern. But if your area you live, the place that you go to, isn't windy, then this is a fantastic buy. So the Mini 3 Pro, a long-term review there. This has been a love-hate relationship with this drone, I'll be honest with you. I've come to some locations, I've found this fantastic landscape, yes! And then I've got the drone in the air and it's been too windy to fly it, and I'm like, oh God. But overall, no, I really do like this drone. There has been limiting times where it has been annoying, but majority of the time, I've absolutely loved it. And it's just so easy to use and it's so quiet. So I can get to locations and fly this drone, get good photos, good videos, and nobody's like, is that a drone in the air? What's that noise? And like getting dead annoyed. This is perfect, and it's really good for beginners. So I'm really great and happy to see that so many beginners are picking this drone up and getting really good shots with it. So let me know in the comments down below, if you've got this drone, have you had any limitations, some issues with it? Let me know, and also the advantages as well. It helps a lot of people out. Certainly for me, if I'm buying a new product, I'll watch a review video and then I'll look in the comments and see the community's kind of opinion as well. So please do that as well. It really does help a lot of people out. And if you're new around here, make sure you like and subscribe. I really do have loads more content coming really soon, so make sure you stick around for that. But the Mini 3 Pro, I hope you enjoyed that, a long-term review, and this would make a perfect present for anybody this Christmas. See you soon.